Facebook, Housemaids.ph. Instagram. TikTok. Twitter. LinkedIn. YouTube, Housemaids Philippines. Google us.
Floating status. Did you know? Finding helper just got a whole lot simpler and more convenient for employers and families who need it. It's definitely more convenient, but unexpected issues can still come up, you know? So, what happens to your status when it's time to replace the maid you got from us? Let's break it down. This feature allows you to temporarily pause the replacement process if you don't need a new helper immediately. When you're ready, we can resume the process. There are various reasons, but this decision comes from the employer. This is our suggestion when the employer is in a situation like the following. The maid is no longer needed. For example, the maid we provided left or was let go. We can suggest a floating status so their right to a replacement isn't wasted. The employer has gone abroad and no longer needs the helper. Again, we'd suggest a floating status to preserve their entitlement to a replacement. They're having trouble deciding on the applicants we provide. In this case, we can put the status on hold until they make a decision. They hired helper from other agency or directly, and their status was put on hold or made temporary until they are actually needed. When the employer has household issues to settle first. When the previous helper returns to the employer's household and they no longer need a helper from us. These are just examples. There are many reasons why the status of your contract may be put on floating status. If you yourself don't accept a replacement for your helper obtained from us, it can fall under this status. It's not the agency that decides, but you. You can also get a replacement depending on your decision. Let's discuss further the extent of your rights in this status. The floating status of the replacement is only available for 6 months, and the day won't run while you're on hold for the replacement request. Unlike the 90-day entitlement for replacement, where the employer can request within the entitlement period, once your status is floating, the subsequent days won't work or be counted. This means that if you request to put the replacement status on hold due to personal reasons, the contract timeline will pause. And when you decide to request a replacement, the new helper will pick up where the previous one left off, with the remaining days or months on the contract. Meaning, no new applicant profiles will be shared with you while the status is on hold. You can no longer request a floating status once you've exceeded 6 months on the contract, so it's best to inform us ahead of time before the contract ends so you don't lose out on your rights. Having a floating status can be an advantage for managing your time, but there are also disadvantages to it. When it comes to the replacement process, it's also relatively easy to request and get lined up by the agency. As soon as you request a replacement, we'll hook you up with some great candidates right away. It's also rare for employers to request a hold on replacement or floating status because most of them really need a helper urgently. Benefits. Manage your household needs flexibly. Pause replacement process without losing remaining contract time. Resume when you're ready. How this works. 1. Request floating status before exceeding 6 months on your contract. 2. We'll pause the replacement process. 3. When you're ready, inform us to resume. That concludes our explanation of this process. You're the best judge of what suits your situation, and we're here to share and inform you of things you should know. We hope we've guided you through this process. If there's anything else you'd like to know about it, kindly call us.
Interesadong aplikante, tawagan, text lang ang mga sumusunod.
Share, subscribe, and click the notification bell button para maging updated kayo sa aming mga videos! Be kind, work hard, at mabuhay! Pamilyang Pilipino! So ano pang inaantay nyo? Apply na! Happy?
Okay na to.